This is it. We got a special one. Got my sister in here. We're doing a reaction video to the I Shouldn't Be Alive stuff. Seems like we're getting a pretty good reaction to those. So since we got my sister in here, Lauren, my sister Lauren, introduce yourself to these folks.
Yep. What he said.
So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I figured it'd be good to go into one that's the C, you know? Sister. That's bad.
I didn't want to laugh at that.
Yeah, you good.
The open sea, its mystery and beauty have always been
it.
irresistible. But when the ocean turns, it shows no mercy.
Mayday! Mayday!
This is the true story of 5 sailors shipwrecked in the Atlantic with no food and no water.
I don't know if I'd call them sailors, though.
Every
They're like
choice
average
they make
folk.
is life or death in these shark-infested seas.
How much do you think the actors get paid?
If they have to get eaten by a shark, you gotta pay me quite a bit. I'm just saying. Just saying.
You think the shark was a paid actor?
They got the one from Jaws. That'd probably be too high on the budget.
No, it's his grandson. He's a Nepo baby.
Luxury yacht Trashman surges through the Atlantic. Her owner made his millions in the rubbish business, and a hastily assembled crew who've never sailed together before are delivering the yacht to his home in Florida. The 6-day voyage begins in Bar Harbor, Maine. The crew will sail 1,300 miles down the eastern seaboard of the United States to Fort Lauderdale.
Florida.
Don't come here.
The most experienced sailor is Deborah Scaling Kiley. She's the first American woman to have completed the grueling Whitbread around.
Oh no, a woman driver?
No, I'm playing. Because you're working with nature. There's another force, and you
Bodybuilder,
become one
it
with
counts.
that force.
She does look like a
And I'm
bodybuilder.
a junkie for it. I'm an adrenaline junkie.
Debbie has been hired for the run by the yacht's skipper, John Lippoff.
He was sort of that scraggly sailor look.
Running nicely now.
She looks like she'd definitely try to sell you some protein powder.
First thing that I noticed about him
Cheers.
that I thought was kind of wild was
Crunchy
that he
bun.
liked to celebrate everything. He wanted to have a beer the minute I met him.
Problemo, Debs.
It's called an alcoholic.
He was quite impressive.
He wanted the minute I met him, right afterwards,
Night.
as soon as we woke up the next
Committee
day.
vote for the
After he
America's
brushed his
Cup. And,
teeth.
you know, to be the skipper of that boat, you can't be
Ew.
all bad. You got to be pretty good.
So
boatman.
gross.
You gotta rinse the toothpaste out.
John's brought
Ugh.
along his girlfriend, Meg. Moon.
Beer's the only thing above
She's no
orange
sailor,
juice.
Just along for
After
the ride,
brushing your teeth, that's the
looking
grossest.
forward to parties, calm waters, and sunshine.
It's okay.
Brad Kavanagh's the youngest crew member.
Is that
Signed
okay?
up because Debbie's on board.
Now, why don't you go to sleep now? I'll take the next watch with John. Ask him to come up.
Brad's a decent sailor, although he's not yet in Debbie's league.
He's an apprentice.
The Trashman heads inshore to Annapolis, Maryland, to pick up the final member of the 5-man crew, an English sailor who's a friend of Brad's.
Debbie, this is Mark Adams.
Hi.
Debbie here did the last Whitbread. Is that right?
That's right.
I'm letting that yellow joke, boy.
I didn't
Uh-oh.
like his condescending, chauvinistic attitude.
Every minute
Please
his
tell me
mouth
he's the
was
one that gets
moving,
eaten.
He was saying stuff just to be outrageous and to get people going. That was his MO.
Speaking about him in the past tense.
When we
Yeah.
left
a good
Annapolis,
sign.
I was in heaven.
When there's
On
5 people in the storyline
big
and only
birds
2
on my
people telling the
parents'
story,
boat with these nice new people heading
You know, it's about to be an
Fort
interesting story.
Lauderdale, and I couldn't have been happier.
why is he smiling
There's
like that,
something
though?
about
Trauma.
pushing off and being back on the ocean. Everybody was getting along, and it was exciting.
The first day is an easy sail. By nightfall, they're right on schedule.
That night, the weather was beautiful. The boat was fun to steer. It really just didn't get much better than it was right then.
Make it
Great.
cool.
Love it.
With AC
Can't wait
Pro,
till I have ads.
anyone can reach.
But this calm doesn't last long. A storm is gathering, and it's moving quickly towards them.
Debbie! Wake up! Debbie!
That was 4 hours?
It's blowing a gale out there. Meg's falling. She's hurt, and we're taking on water. She's hurt real bad. Can you come take a look at her?
Where the hell did this storm come from?
Usually, if it's a squall, it comes in and it blows through and it's over. But this was not a squall. This was something that
Squall.
was building momentum. I couldn't believe the conditions had deteriorated so much.
How are they smiling?
Surfing down those waves, it was like a roller coaster.
The one that bothers me is the
An
dude telling the
elevator
story.
when it drops.
The actual survivor. The way he's smiling bothers me. I don't know why.
My mother sailed through a hurricane when I was in her belly, but I can honestly say that this kind of weather is not in my blood.
Mark's up on deck, just woo, howling at the wind, and obviously
The alcoholic,
he's been
yeah.
drinking.
That's the other alcoholic. Got two of them.
Everything's a party if you're drunk enough.
Better help her. She's
Florida.
on her back.
Well, I'll take a look.
Meg had gone up on deck, and when the boat fell and wiped out, her tether didn't keep her from falling.
I was like, what was Meg doing on deck to begin with? She has no business out in this kind of weather.
Debbie, leave it. Just help her, okay?
But John...
Debbie, for once, would you just do what I say?
She rolled over slightly, and you could see the bruising begin, and it was all through the kidney area. I could just tell she was in so much pain.
I want to go home, John. Take me home.
Ooh.
Okay, let us know.
John discovered that he didn't have any charts to take him into this part of the coast.
It was
Nice.
just one more little omen that things weren't
No
great.
Google
It was
Maps?
that he wasn't prepared.
Sailing vessel trash man calling Coast Guard. We urgently need a compass heading so we can head inshore. We have no chart. Over.
Brad and I
a
went
bad
up on
skipper.
deck to take our next watch, and it was wildly out of control. The winds were gusting 50 miles per hour, and Mark's up on deck, and he is just wild.
Are you out of your mind?
Yes.
We're in a jail and you're hammered. You're a bigger idiot than I thought.
Still floating, is it safe?
Not for long.
The Coast Guard advised us that we should go to Wilmington, North Carolina. But when we altered course and headed into the coast, those waves just started smashing into the boat and impacting us. And it was like one of those amusement park rides that, you know, kind of jerks you up. But it wouldn't go over and
Just
jerks you up.
him. I don't know. He makes me feel funny.
John's
Like the way
sails are
he
ripped
tells
off
the
in a
story.
storm,
It
so
like
John turns to the
it's
engine
uneasy.
in a last-ditch attempt
He's the
to
one that
power
called the
through
shark.
waves.
The alarms all went off.
something.
and the engine
He's got
overheated.
something about him.
The engine was gone, and that was the end of our ability to charge the batteries. We were quickly going to be running out of power to speak to anybody from off the vessel. Now we had no engine, no sail, and we were just floating out there in the ocean.
He's smiling because normally the story
Not
gets
knowing
him late.
what else to do, John makes a
True.
decision.
True. I get you.
Radio.
He's the talk of the bar.
Yes, we're running on emergency power. We need assistance immediately.
I was on
We're in
TV one
trouble. Our
time.
engine is down. Our
You ever heard of
sails are
Discovery
damaged.
Channel?
We need immediate rescue. Over.
Rescuing.
Doesn't even talk about everything that happened. Just how it was
I've
on
never been on a
TV.
boat that had requested assistance, and it was really odd for me because it was like giving up. But John's big issue there was getting Meg off the boat.
Is the mic gonna pull up my burps?
He's a skipper, Mark. He called the shot.
It's okay. Got him.
He was angry.
Just put
You
it
know, he
aside.
believes that a sailor
It
should be
won't if you do
self-reliant.
that.
There's been a
Only
few.
that, you know, only
It's
wusses
okay.
call
Says
the Coast
greens.
Roger that. 2 ships. Exxon.
Sorry.
No, that was so real. That was good.
Gypsum King. 4 hours away.
Since the 2 merchant vessels are the closest ships to the trash man, the Coast Guard requests that they head towards the yacht to assist. Help is at last on its way.
It gave us this false sense of security, and I think that's probably the kiss of death.
They will rendezvous. Roger that. Over. Come in, please, Coast Guard. This is Trashman. Are you still there? Over. Anybody there? Anybody there? Over. Anybody? Anybody?
Powerless, the yacht is battered by the enormous waves. But after 12 hours on watch and with help on its way, Debbie and Brad decide to get some rest.
It's a good time. A good time to rest.
Good nap.
So exhausted.
Get out of here.
I can hear Mark whooping it up and howling at the wind. Woo! There was that brief moment. I thought, God, we ought to be on deck. And then I thought, you know what? It's not my problem now. I gotta get some sleep.
But you really can't sleep
So
in
wait,
that situation. You can
the-
just try and rest. And,
Only 2
and
people
having all
talking
that
so far are
time
the
on your
ones that
hands,
left
your mind can just take
to
you
be
all
by
sorts of
themselves.
Terrible, terrible places.
See what I'm saying?
Seems like it.
I'm just
lying
saying.
There, feeling like the boat was
There's
going to
something
break
brewing.
apart.
Without sails or an engine, the
got a
yacht's
hot
almost
pot of
impossible
coffee.
to steer. So Mark ties off the helm and heads down to sleep. Brad lies awake, ill at ease, as the situation begins to get much worse.
One of these times we got to the top of one of these waves and it crested and broke, like at the beach, like Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, so they just
The
like.
boat fell off the top. You know, we were in free fall.
Oh shit.
And then we impacted against the window. And the window just smashed out. And the water just poured in.
Debbie! Debbie! We gotta
Ho,
get
ho,
out of
ho, ho, ho.
That ain't good. I think the water's supposed to stay outside.
And we're scrambling to get
Oh
to the
my
deck, and I
God.
hear John over here going,
Mayday! Anybody!
He's the fucking method got the radio pulled apart.
Now's not a time to be tinkering.
when I get up on that deck,
No,
it was
what,
just
it
like
got
a
power.
slow motion drink. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just gray,
her eyes are
and
pretty.
it was crazy, and it
Pretty
was
crazy.
tumultuous. And I look around, and there is nothing.
You wouldn't
And
be able
we're
to
going
see
down, and we're going
your
down
hand in front of your
fast.
face. The moonlight, if anything. And during a storm, you're not going to have moonlight, I'm assuming.
You don't think about dying. You don't think about drowning. You don't think about anything. You think about
about
getting
shark-
away from
Being
this
in
boat.
water
That's
and
what I-
not being able to see anything.
I
Oh
think
my
about sharks. That's what I think about.
God.
Going down like a big rock.
So she was the first one that jumped off in the water?
Mark frantically struggles
like
to
it.
undo the pressurized canister holding the life raft and survival gear. Brad heads for the only other option, a tiny, inflatable dinghy.
Nice.
But I swam after the dinghy.
Goldfish.
Oh, come on.
handful? Sure.
Kicking off my sea boots and my foul weather bottoms, thinking, my dad's gonna kill me. I've just let his boots sink. And then thoughts of my mother and how horrified she was gonna be and how sad that when she learned
Dude,
That was a
that I had
delay.
died.
I do not like his
there in
face.
the ocean.
Do you see what I'm saying? The way he's talking and smiling, is that not weird? The way he's smiling, saying like, oh, I think I'm dying.
He got his first taste of dead things. Just kept going. I don't know.
It's bad.
The canister
He's got a
deflates.
serial killer face.
He does, yeah,
Hold
exactly.
on, and eventually
started with
it just
this.
Lets go. The life raft
Or maybe
was
it
blown
didn't.
Away, and we weren't going to find it in the middle of the night.
It's,
You managed to get anything
he's
from
got
the
problems.
yacht? We're dead!
Inside that life raft was everything that we needed to live, to survive what we were going through. It had an emergency beaconing device, which a plane could have picked up on, had water makers to make fresh water from salt water.
Food, fish hooks, mirrors, signaling devices.
Maras.
Rations, flares.
Is that supposed to be
First aid
mirrors?
equipment.
I think so.
Had a radio
Mares.
with it.
And
I
in
was a
that
step or
rubber
two away
Zodiac
from it.
thingy, we had absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm so sorry I lost the life.
Our chances for survival were zero.
Now's not time for apologies, sir.
Was it his fault or what was that?
I don't know, but either way.
They couldn't fucking.
Where's Meg?
Oh, she's tied up in
As
it.
the boat sank, Meg was within the rigging.
Ho, ho, ho. So she's already taken 2 beatings.
And she just didn't have
You know what I
the
mean?
sea savvy or the knowledge to, watch the waves, and then when the wave action was right, to swim out.
You just said that she didn't have the knowledge. I think shit happens, lady. I think shit happens. She didn't like her. She's also like, she always just talked about, like, she was annoying.
She will be missed. Not by me. But
yeah,
she
yeah,
will be
right,
missed.
right. Oh, but
So now all 5
We're
people.
all gathered around the rubber Zodiac dinghy, and I remember watching Trash Man as the last little foot of her mast slipped under the water.
heck of a name too, Trash
And it
Man.
was the most devastating.
They made their money off the rubbish
lonely
business.
feeling that I've ever felt in my life.
What is even the rubbish business?
Trash.
The trash man went down in less
Trash
than
man.
a minute.
We're all gonna die!
Well,
By not contacting the Coast Guard.
it's not positive
we were
thinking.
now half an hour late for our radio call. They should have been on the way. Cavalry rushing in. All we needed to do was stay afloat, and they'd find us.
I'd be on that dinghy. I don't know how they're in the water right now. I couldn't do it.
The next day, when the
As soon
sun
as, like,
finally
algae
came
or
up,
something touched my
the
feet.
sky was overcast and gray.
The air temperature being
If something
40,
touches your feet,
we would
you hope it's algae out there.
definitely succumb to
Holy
hypothermia.
shit, do you hope it's algae?
I'm jumping before I find out.
Right.
We'll be out of the wind!
Rather than flip the dinghy over, the crew get underneath it, where they'll be sheltered from the bitterly cold wind and rapid hypothermia.
Come on. Check on you.
The sad thing is that Meg just couldn't participate. I think it was too painful for her. But more than anything, Meg was very claustrophobic.
Get over it, right? I mean,
Soon, the water begins to have its own chilling effect.
Okay, we gotta get out of the water. It's cooling us down.
oh, because it's thermo.
We devised
It
a
up-
system,
Taking
Where
all the
we
heat away from their body.
positioned our bodies, suspended by a line that we'd rigged.
Lie down next to me. You two, lie on top of us.
By stacking ourselves like a bunch of fuel rods in a nuclear power plant or a bunch of logs in a fire, we were able to share our body heat and to keep ourselves warm.
As the storm raged on, you could.
But homegirl's still out there by herself.
Like that, and it was
Her
so
choice.
quiet
And she's
so
bleeding,
peaceful,
too.
so deceptive.
Internally.
Is it just internally? I
I
thought
think
the,
so.
the
Luring
rope.
you once again into that amniotic state.
I don't know that amniotic means what she thinks it means.
I was,
I feel like somebody should have checked that word choice.
damn, bitch. You,
Doug, help me! Help me! Right! Call 911!
What?
When John started
Did
talking
he
about
really
his
say that?
symptoms, I knew immediately he was probably just hyperventilating because the air would get very thick under the Zodiac.
or is that just for the reenactment? Like,
Get him into the dinghy!
The wind was like 40 degrees and it was blowing like 90 knots. And we decided we would flip the Zodiac dinghy over and we lift Meg in.
she's hurting.
Oh, she is. Yeah.
Success doesn't come from having all the
Come on.
answers.
We
It
got
comes
3
from
already?
daring to ask the right questions like, how
I was horrified at her wounds. The wire in the rigging had cut almost all the way to the bone, and she had huge gaping wounds on her legs. It was heartbreaking. Just those wounds alone were a death sentence.
Throw her overboard. It's messed up.
We're gonna freeze to death. Look, man, you want to go back in the water and help yourself? There's a whole ocean out there.
Attitude.
Yeah, right?
No need.
We hung there for a minute, and pretty soon he goes, "Quit kicking me."
I'm not touching you.
Oh.
You did it again. Cut it out.
What are you talking
They're
about?
testing
I'm
him.
not kicking you.
Stop now.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to look in the water, and I'm going to see where his legs are, and I'm going to stay as far away from him as I can. And it was
Open
the
her eyes
most
in the ocean.
eerie sensation.
That's the most badass
And I
thing.
noticed these like torpedo-shaped bodies, and I thought fish. And then all of a sudden, one came really close, and I realized it was like hundreds of sharks. They were
Nah,
everywhere.
bro.
Apparently that's what they do though. They poke and prod
They
a couple
test.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the minute we got in fins, just everywhere in the water. And I don't mean like 2 or 3. I mean 10, 20. They were everywhere.
They don't smell Meg.
And they realize that's a whole ass snack. 5.
So many
5
sharks
people?
in my life.
That's
Not in my
decent.
entire trip
Fucking
around the
golden
world.
corral out there.
Yeah,
All you
I
can
ever
eat.
felt.
that's funny. That was good.
Today, I don't know why the sharks didn't attack us that night. With all of us
Yeah, for real.
treading water, with Meg's legs bleeding.
Do you think it's because it was storming? No, it's storming still.
I don't know. It's storming, but it's not like as bad as it was.
Are you out of your mind? What do you think's what?
Yeah,
Maybe they were just far away. Like it took them. Like can't they smell for like miles off?
Our biggest threat was not just the coal, but a wave breaking underneath us and
I'm
flipping
on
the
my
Zodiac
way.
over and dumping us back into the shark-infested water.
They're just dancing the whole time on the way.
What we had to
I'm
do
gonna
is
eat.
devise a system to
And you
try to
smell the
slow
KFC
the
before you
little
pull
rubber
up.
Zodiac down.
Hey, Debbie, do you think maybe we can make a sea anchor out of this thing? Stabilize this tub?
I thought that was actually that's a pretty good idea.
What is it?
He wants to try to make an anchor to keep
But as
himself
soon as we
stabilized.
threw the piece of plywood
But-
over the front of the boat, the shark swam up and grabbed it in its mouth.
Like a movie.
These were not little sharks.
I'm
And
taking this meal to
one
go.
was big enough to pull a 13-foot rubber Zodiac dinghy with 5 people in it, which is at least, 700 pounds,
Yeah.
wildly through the water.
Well, except for Meg, she was. Because she's so mean. She seems like she's spiteful. Like, for some weird reason.
By nightfall, the storms died down, but the sharks are still out there. The crew's hungry and thirsty, and the night air begins to freeze their wet bodies.
We can't make a fire on a dinghy.
It's night 2, and with night
Yeah.
comes
I guess they don't have nothing to burn.
Not a wet
just
dinghy.
that threat of not
have nothing
being
to
able
burn.
make it through the night
I don't know what I was thinking.
A light.
We got Meg.
A light.
Oh God, it's close. Paddle.
At first, when you see the light, you just are so excited you can't stand yourself. They're coming to rescue you. And then you realize the reality of the situation is it's pitch black. You're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and nobody can see anything.
If I can't make eye contact with someone on that ship, I'm not close enough, and I just think that paddling towards it is a huge waste of my energy, and I haven't eaten anything in 2 days.
I haven't
And I
eaten
don't want to
anything.
expend my energy.
I mean, I
on
feel them, though.
freezing all the time to do this.
Because they definitely can't see them. For sure. Like what she said, you're in the pitch black. Like, if you don't have
They're
a light
looking
on
at
you.
stars.
Water is
Yeah,
like
they can't see
nothing
you at
I've
all.
Ever felt. It's as if every cell in your body needs it, and it's crying out for it. You haven't had water in 24 hours, almost 48 hours.
But all I got was the wind blowing through my mouth and actually drying my mouth and my tongue more than the moisture coming in from the rain.
Dry mouth just never left him.
That's what I was thinking too.
It was
Is
as
he?
if
Yes.
God was spitting on us,
Hey,
laughing
calm
at our
down.
situation. All of a sudden, we remembered about the ship, and we looked out, and the ship was gone. Maybe that was a chance for survival. It's the ultimate despair.
And at that point, I just couldn't take it. I felt that I was being teased by the environment, and by the powers that be. Oh, I stood
His
up
look.
and I
The
gave
spit was just
God
a
the
tease.
finger, started.
Good Lord. Mother Nature needs to calm down.
Make it rain, let it rain so we can get some water.
The last thing you wanted to do is curse God, because that was about the only chance we had for survival.
Amen.
The ship has gone, but some unwanted guests refuse to leave.
There was always a fin
No,
somewhere.
they're gonna follow you
They
now.
were always bumping into the raft and pushing us around. Then they'd go away for a while, and just about the time you think that they'd gone away, they came back again.
They done put their reservation in. They're not leaving the damn table.
From bad to worse to nightmarish.
Y'all are cooking. Y'all are just simmering. You know what I'm saying?
Marinating.
Yeah, really.
Still adrift in the Atlantic, suffering from dehydration, infection, and the fear that they'll never be found.
Why didn't they
We were
wash it
starting to get
out?
very
Fucking human
frustrated
soup.
with the Coast
That's what I'm saying. Why didn't they rinse it out
Because
though?
Without food and water.
How would you?
we were
Without,
really
like, getting in the
starting to
water.
I would try to.
Like, dip it and then...
No, I'd keep trying to wash water in.
Yeah.
Because it looks like
And
there's
then, like,
slots.
scoop water out.
No.
Coast Guard finds us?
It has slits where water can drain out.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Of course.
Just put more water in.
until it. I think I wouldn't be sitting in piss and poop water.
They forgot about us.
Like,
Hopefully nobody's pooping in that. They hadn't eaten anything.
well, true.
Thanks a lot, Debbie.
One out of 5 people, one of them's shit. Out of 5 people in 2 days,
They just all kind
one of them, 2 of them are alcoholics. So I know someone's shit. I have alcoholic friends. I know someone
If they do anything, they gonna shit.
that kind of shit.
Where we went down was anywhere between 35 and 135 miles off the coast.
What? Is that far? We could still be thrown to shore, right?
Mm-mm.
Guys,
135 miles.
My God.
The crew have no idea where they are, but the dinghy's now 140 miles from shore and heading out into the Atlantic.
Because the way the
The
flow
dynamics
works.
of the group begin to change, and partnerships form as the survival instinct starts to take hold.
Oh, the only 2 people that survived out of this are
What are we gonna do?
huddling up right now. I'm just saying.
I coach into this. If I didn't have you, if it was just me and those guys, I don't know.
We just need to stick together. You and me.
She has something on her
If we lose this
lips.
bond, then
Herpes.
we're lost. And it's what's going to keep both of us alive. So I'm going to watch out for you, and you watch out for me.
I can hardly stay awake.
Why don't you go to sleep? I'll watch you. Make sure you're okay.
If it had come down to someone trying to hurt Brad,
They would
or kill
definitely be
him,
sunburned.
I would have
Right.
done my best to take him out because
Are you
Brad was
kidding me?
my partner in
Blistered.
survival, and I wasn't gonna let him go. There was no way.
See, why is she even bringing that up? If it came down to it, she would kill somebody. But
The bottom
no
of the
one's
boat was
even.
fetid.
Foreshadowing.
It was a mixture of urine and blood and
Ugh.
pus.
We were in absolute agony because we're starting to get massive staph infections all over our bodies.
These staphylococcal infections are caused by bacteria entering cuts in the skin. They
So
can soon attack
disgusting.
the heart and lungs, and Meg is at particular risk because of her open wound.
By the end of it, the sharks are drinking kombucha.
So bad.
Oh, Lord.
Blood poisoning.
Ugh.
And we were sitting there watching.
They're just getting a drip feed of like seasoning all the way down while they're floating. You know, that's what they're following is the seasoning. They're just waiting.
Seasoning.
Human seasoning.
Night 3, with all the infection coming on, and the starvation setting in, we all were getting very delirious.
That's a party.
Oh, they're drinking the salt water.
Going after it too.
Oh no.
What are you doing?
That can't be good.
That stuff
Also,
will kill
just
you.
keep in mind, this is from their point of view. The only living people get to tell a story.
Help yourself.
Everyone knows that you're not supposed to drink seawater.
Like, what the
They
fuck?
tell us that from the time we're little
No.
kids. And that's one of the things you just don't do.
They're just thinking, oh no,
Drinking
don't do
salt
that.
water dehydrates your body even more.
I'm not stopping
And
them or
it
anything.
causes kidneys to shut down, and you begin to have delusions. And ultimately, if you drink salt water, it will kill you if you don't kill yourself first from the delusions. I didn't really know how long it would be before we saw the effects of the salt water, but it stood to reason to me that it would be probably, 7 hours or so.
All my expertise in
That was right.
bodybuilding.
It didn't take all that long.
Because they're already so thirsty.
Yeah, there's nothing in them.
It's too hot.
Yo.
Like a bad acid trip.
Where's everybody?
The jump scare of the shark actually got me.
Like fucking cabin fever.
Come to Johnny.
Come to Johnny. Homie's trying to get some
They
shark.
could eat the shark.
Where's everybody?
It was just like I was watching some crazy play.
I love the facts. I see land. I see land.
Shout out to these actors though.
I see land. It's right there, man. You see it? It's right there in front of us. We just don't found us, man. We'll go to the hospital where my mom works. She'll take care of us.
We're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
That's total crap, man!
God.
It's over there.
This went on all day long.
Oh, I want my cigarettes. I need one now.
The monotony of it was starting to
Could
drive
you imagine
me
being
crazy.
so addicted? You're almost dead.
Just gonna get my car.
You're almost dead and you just want a cigarette.
You guys bring the boat in, and I'll go get
He said, "Y'all bring the boat and I'll go get the car."
There it is. I see it.
He looks like Tom Green.
I'm just gonna get the car.
And then all of a sudden, he jumps off the side of the boat.
No, Tom Green.
And we're like, where the are you going? There is no land, there is no Falmouth, and there are a lot of sharks out there. You need to come back.
She pushed him.
Not according to her story.
That's what I'm saying though. What? And that's her husband.
Do something.
And she can't do anything.
No. And he doesn't realize what she's doing. What he's doing to her, because he's too delusional to realize he's leaving her there.
Strength in me
It's
to
heavy.
force him not to go.
My name is Alfonso, and I got Botox
They really
Cosmetic
know
for
where
the
to place
first
these
time.
at.
The lines that I was concerned the most about were on my.
This is season 1, episode 1?
Was it?
That's what it
All
said
of
at
a
the
sudden,
top.
we just
Didn't even
hear
realize.
this shrill scream.
You're telling me they started out with the best of the best?
Blood curdling. And it was over. And then silence. And it was like there was no crying. There was no nothing. Meg just said, he's gone. There wasn't any doubt what had happened, and the sharks got him. The sharks never left.
No. The stingray's helping him to land.
I was angry with him because
Like
I
Moana.
really felt that I would get a lot of credit for surviving and having everyone survive. I looked forward and relished the thought of being heroic.
I don't know why it just stands out. Like, why are you saying that? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too
Nothing
hard.
heroic in what I had done.
I don't trust the tooth gap.
Was stand by while
There's
John-
gaps in your story and your teeth. And I won't stand for it.
The four
Why'd they have to
remaining
zoom up so
survivors of the crash man cling to life as they drift helplessly in the Atlantic. The sharks have just claimed their first victim, John, the captain.
After John went
Alcoholic
over, we all
captain.
just sort of sat back for a while. I think everyone was so shocked. And Meg was crying, but she wasn't sobbing. She was so sad. She was so sick.
Oh, she was so sad.
I wonder why.
And her husband just got eaten. What the fuck?
And then again, this is from their point of view, so why'd they have to include this?
I know how to make you feel better.
Bruh.
Take your mind off John. Promise.
He says, "Hey, lady, I think it's about time you and me had sex." And that just, like, hit
That's the
me
dude
over
she
the
said she didn't
head
care
with a
for, though. Remember when he
red
came? That's the
flag.
last dude they picked up, and she said she didn't care for his, like, ignorance or whatever. I'm not saying it's not true. Very well could have been true.
What can she even do?
Right. I'm tired of playing games. I'm just going back to the 7-Eleven to get some more beer and cigarettes.
Oh, I love the 7-Eleven.
You're not going to the 7-Eleven for anything. You know we're in this dinghy, don't you?
I'm just going over for a minute. Just to stretch my legs.
You're gonna get stretched out.
Just for a moment.
Brad and I get up and go, "Man, the sharks just ate John."
No. I'm just stretching my legs. Getting right back in.
And just about that time, we feel this. Bam! And then we feel a bam again.
Making Kool-Aid under there?
Red 40 or whatever.
There's like this frenzy.
Whatever it is.
And the sharks are eating Mark underneath the Zodiac.
Under the
It was,
boat, though?
without a doubt, the most horrifying moment of my entire life.
Like, whoa.
The sharks now had a taste of what they'd been following for days.
They know.
And they wanted more. So they tried to tip the boat over with Meg, Debbie, and I in the raft.
What would it feel like?
That jump scare kinda
once
got me.
they'd drag you under? What would it feel like with that first bite? And maybe it would be better if we jumped over and drowned ourselves, so we would never have to feel it. And it lasted for what
I
seemed
think
like
you're
an
gonna feel it.
eternity, like
Yeah.
hours.
I don't think you could drown yourself before you'd get eaten.
Yeah.
If they're following you at that point already.
Well, and
That
like you'd have
night, I
to
remember waking up
consciously
and
suck
looking
in
up,
water. You know what I mean?
and
Like
there
your
were
body's not gonna like
stars
let you just
everywhere.
not
It was like a
breathe.
starry night.
It's true.
And then I began to hear Meg moan in the dinghy.
Oh, man. It's the grudge.
Oh shit.
Gotta hold some bath salts.
They're not even in
I
Florida
think
yet.
she was frustrated and she just wanted to strike out at somebody.
Why is
John
he
really did her a
smiling?
dirty trick, leaving her there in the raft.
I
It was
trust his
really
actor
weird.
more than I trust
She
him.
took her hands
Yeah.
and started moving them in the air like a Spanish dancer, like she was in completely some other world. And then, out of the blue, she just started talking.
This shit gives me goosebumps for some reason.
And it all of a sudden became very clear to me that Meg was speaking in tongues.
No.
She's dying, isn't she?
She was,
How do you know
she was dying. She was really
the
close
difference
to
between
death.
tongues and gibberish?
It wasn't gibberish. It was tongue.
Right.
Yeah.
She would know as a bodybuilding lesbian.
Meg.
Oh, the color.
We woke up
But you seen how the water flowed in and
Yeah.
out? Like, you could definitely just keep scooping water
in the
in.
bottom of the dinghy.
And it'd wash out, hopefully, I think. Ugh.
All that fetid mixture that was left over from the seaweed and the urine and the pus and
Debbie. Should we eat her?
We were starving, and you've heard of cannibalism at sea. And are we gonna, nourish ourselves by
Meg
Like-
sushi.
somehow
Sushi's
figuring
fresh.
out how to butcher her? And eat her,
She is far from fresh.
Too infected, Brad. We have to get rid of her.
Gas station sushi.
7-Eleven sushi. Good callback.
You're right.
He seems disappointed he couldn't eat the rotten body. I was going to finally get to try a human.
And so we decided that we would take off her shirt and all of her jewelry so that we could give
Steal
those to
from
her
her.
family.
You know what I mean? Like, good lord.
Opened up a whole new world of
That's
possibilities.
desecration, lady.
Would you embrace it?
But why
I
her
got
shirt?
really mad at Brad because he was like, I can't get the ring off. I'm like, get it off. It's not like you're gonna hurt her. Just take it off and get it off.
Nope. That's a titty.
It was
Oh, that is a
such
titty.
a sad moment because we laid her body, naked body, on the side of the raft, and then we decided that we couldn't just push her over; that we had to give some kind of a funeral. And so we said the Lord's Prayer and Psalm 23, and then we just gently pushed her body overboard.
And the shark said amen.
Gently.
Yeah.
And we decided then that we would just go back to sleep so that if the sharks attacked her, we wouldn't have to see it. And so that's what we did.
Oh, but that happened to be the gentle attack.
People can
They were,
argue
yeah,
that
they
it was
just.
a physical thing that killed Meg, but I think it was John abandoning her and making her despair.
Yeah, not
killed
the
Meg.
getting hit in the back, not the leg.
No, not all of the numerous physical injuries. Obviously, is the emotions. She's a woman.
That's what I was hoping you would say. It's so much funnier it comes from you than me. That's what he sounds like he's saying, though, right? Like he's being a dick about it. And smiling. I don't like his smile.
I've been actually ever since I woke up.
The water in the bottom. Meg's died in it.
Yep.
Making you ill. The sun's only making it worse.
Genius. She's a genius.
That's why she lived?
You do.
Yeah.
We're turning this thing over right now.
What about the sharks?
I haven't seen sharks for hours. Come on, Brad. Don't give up on me.
And it really scared me because I did not want to have to live in that life raft, in that little rubber Zodiac dinghy, alone.
It kinda sounds
gave
like
it
you
a few
do.
Good pops, and I almost got the boat over, and then I lost my grip on the line, and I fell over the side of the boat.
Weak.
Get me! You gotta be back here.
And this time, I don't have the strength to get myself back into the boat.
What about being a hero?
Where's all that talk? It's time to walk the walk, buddy.
Heroes save themselves.
You gotta at least save your.
saw.
What is she doing?
I
Splashing.
felt like
In
I
the
had
piss
just
water.
Playing in the puddle.
doomed Brad to death. If the shark showed up,
He's just stuck on the side.
and I just went on, and I just burst into tears, and I fell back against the seat, and I couldn't do it.
I could give a crap about what Debbie's thinking this time. She's just sitting there being completely useless, and I'm still
Damn it,
alive,
Debbie.
And she won't help me climb in the raft.
For God's sake!
She's finding it impossible to help me to climb into the raft. And I don't know what's on her mind, but
She wants the jewelry all to herself.
Straight.
The loot.
Life and death.
The loot. She's a pirate now.
Into the boat. While she sat 3 feet away from me, just crying.
Face full of piss puddle.
Imagine the smell.
I don't wanna.
At one end or the other of the raft, he wouldn't talk to me. He was so off at me.
I would be too. Although they're both in a state of hysteria or whatever you call it, they're not.
I just want to relax because of all this death that's been happening for the past.
All this murdering I've been doing.
12.
Feeding 3 people to sharks is
15
tiresome.
hours. And as
Haven't
soon
even
as
had
I
a
take
snack.
a break,
I tried.
the horizon.
But Debster said no.
Debster.
I'm gonna make it up to you. Let's catch fish.
Catch fish.
I'm going to survive.
Debbie, there's your ship.
I had heard it was a ship so many times. I just didn't. Big deal. It's a ship. They're not going to see us.
Sounds like a load of
Of
bullshit.
course it is. And I turned around, and it was amazing.
And the ship came by, and it went by, and a guy walked out on the wing bridge and looked down on us, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I waved at him, and he waved at me, and next thing I knew, there wasn't just one person that came out, but there were like 5, 6 people. They were all coming out.
They can't
threw
hear
all
you.
their life-saving equipment out at us.
Oh, hell
And
nah.
he jumps off the boat, and I'm like, God damn it.
God damn it.
You know, don't leave your friend Brad here all alone.
We've got
I
real
don't know
blood
if we're
on.
friends.
Yeah, there's something. They got real blood on their hands together. That's Bonnie and Clyde right there.
I was holding the rope that held the life ring, and they started winching us in.
Okay.
We're recording. Truth is,
And then a big sailor picked us both up.
And when they finally hand me off to the last guy, he just gently lays me on the deck, and I realized that they were Russian. And I didn't care. It was...
I didn't even care.
Normally I would have.
I didn't even care they were Russian. Any other circumstances, though, get your Russian hands off me. Go get some vodka.
These guys did a fantastic job getting us on.
They
board
probably
the
dropped
vessel.
them like that because they
Oh,
fucking
it was just
stunk.
so great. I mean, the whole thing was
Yeah.
just so
Oh, yeah.
great. That was just wonderful.
Yes.
And then, you know, but it was just the start of our journey back to life.
There's never a day that you're more thankful for life than the day you almost die. I'm here today, and I don't feel guilty about it, and I have no regrets.
Lie
And
detector
every day I
determined.
wake up, and it's a new day, and I'm happy.
That's
And
funny.
I always try to find something good in the bad things that happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, at least Meg's gone.
It's not something you just
And that
turn
one
off
dude, he
when
was
it's
really
over.
annoying.
Yeah, he was.
You know, you keep living in that survival mode. You know, I don't know if you're shell shocked or what you are, but it's impossible to just turn it off and go back to being the way you were before.
I just
Then
can't stop
5
smiling
days
every
at
time I
sea,
talk to
the
somebody.
dinghy had drifted 140 miles.
All that sun
from
made
where
my
the yacht
face
sank
skin so
and was
tight.
heading further and further away from land. With no beacon on the dinghy, the 2 merchant ships were unable to find it. The Coast Guard called off the search for Trashman, because it received a call stating the yacht had made it safely into port during the storm.
What?
Who made that phone call remains a mystery.
Hold
I
on.
believe that, John and Mark could have pulled through.
That's...
But I think with these guys, the real problem was that
What?
they had
Somebody
just
made a
reached the end
mistake.
of their rope, and it was not worth it for them to put up
I
with
mean,
the
if I was
pain
the
and
one making the
continue
mistake,
living.
I
But for
wouldn't have
me,
been,
I'm not gonna take
coming
myself
forward.
out of the game
Yeah,
for
if he did say
deserving.
that, or yeah, they wouldn't be like, yeah.
Brad and Debbie have no idea how much longer they could have hung on. What they do know is they had an unshakable will to survive.
They got a divorce immediately afterwards. Or were they not together anyways? I don't know.
I
what I'm
don't think
talking
they're together.
about. Wow. Great. Great one. Whoops. Oh yeah, I just hit a bunch of buttons. I don't know what just happened.
I don't know.
Hope it didn't stop recording.
No.
Nope, we're good. Alright, yep. That's, I shouldn't be watching this number 3.
3.
Sharks. I think we should
Piss
go...
puddles.
We should go on... We should go out to sea. We should take a trip out to sea.
I want to go diving. Out, like,
You do diving.
Well, not my wetsuit, but like...
You want to go diving with snorkel...
Just making a joke. But yeah, I do go diving. But actually go diving in the ocean. You said doo-doo, and that's what it was.
Haha.
Not in my wetsuit, but...
Yeah, you can pee in your wetsuit.
You can. You should.
It's better to pee in your
Warm.
wetsuit. Yeah.
Very warm.
Well, if you guys are still here, and if any of you have any dietary restrictions, and you like
The plug.
baked
The
goods
shameless plug.
of sorts that, have famous sayings that revolve around them crumbling, you should check out some gluten-free cookies from Happy Belly Co. Happy Belly Cookie Co. Happy Belly Cookie
Exactly
Co.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could describe better what you make if you want.
I think you did well.
Gluten-free cookies.
Gluten-free, soft, fresh-baked cookies that are really good.
They are. They are really good. No, seriously, I can't even... I'm not a gluten-free person, so I don't have to eat gluten-free. And when I eat things that are typically gluten-free, I'm like, I can tell it's gluten-free. But I think out of the 5 or 6 cookies that I tried, only one of them even remotely tasted anything
The honey cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
No, I think it just was it's good for the people who like a simpler cookie.
Too sweet.
It was too sweet.
Definitely gluten-free texture.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what is the texture thing.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the coffee cake, you can't even tell. Like you would just think it's coffee cake.
I think the coffee cake one's my favorite.
Yeah.
That one's a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have a Instagram set up too.
I have Instagram, Facebook, I have a website, I've got a business phone number now, I've got a business email now.
What do you think's the preferred method for them to reach you?
Definitely Facebook, I think.
The
Facebook or
Facebook?
Instagram, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you saw I just got the reach out form published on my website tonight. So
Yeah. New.
Very new.
Being updated every few moments.
Yeah, every
So that's
time I
good.
find a misspelled word.
Update it. Make it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But you're also, since it's a new adventure, you're also possibly doing, like, if somebody wants a specialty order for, like, maybe a party or something, you could
like
order something.
whatever. Anything you want, I'll try. And I'll try until I get it right. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember whenever I made those cupcakes. It was just the basic vanilla cupcakes. But those were really good, too.
Right.
And, I don't know. Like, I got a lot of ideas in the works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Basically, all I'm saying is it's not just cookies, though.
No, yeah.
And you're completely
Custom
willing and
anything.
wanting to do other things.
Yeah.
You just reach out to you.
Yeah. I'll
Try 'em
deliver. I'll cater.
Yeah.
Deliver to, businesses or, pretty much anything.
And I don't know when this will necessarily be coming out, but what is the next event that if somebody wanted to like try your cookies at a booth, like
Yeah, June 15th in Carabel, and then July 6th in Live Oak, and then July 20th in Crawfordville.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
so
you.
we'll put those. Oh yeah, no problem. I just wanted to make sure because now I can hopefully remember to put this in the description. So yeah, North Florida is the area you're at.
Yeah, Tallahassee, Madison, Live Oak, Lake City. That section. Big Bend, I guess, is what you would.
As people call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been a fun one.
It has.
It's different.
That I've never seen that.
Never seen that.
No.
No. Did you ever see that show when we were younger?
I feel like I told you, I feel like I remember one where a lady got trapped. She was hiking and she fell or something and she got trapped by like a rock and she had her dog with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
you were telling me about that, but I think it was like a similar, maybe not the same episode, but similar.
Yeah, the dog part rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, and the Discovery keeps posting more, so we'll keep doing them. I like doing them. They're pretty easy to do, and it seems like we've gotten a good response. It was cool to get my sister in here for one, you know?
Now to do the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I was about to bring up next. We're doing a little mini podcast right now, but you guys can look forward to that. So thank you for watching, catching up with Tings. I'm Tings. This is Tings 2.
Tings 2.
Tings 2?
I'm the second one.
You are. Yeah, you are.
What?
Actually, yeah, you're right. I'm not even the first Tings. I'm the third Tings.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we have an older... Now we're really going to have to wrap this up. But yeah, we have a lot of siblings that we're recently finding out about.
Yeah. Future episode.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate it.